and happy Tuesday. So today we're going to be doing I wouldn't say first impression. We're going to be testing out 2 new products that I purchased. One is a foundation. This is the Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation. I picked this up at Walmart for about $4.99. We're also going to be testing out this e.l.f. highlighter. This is the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in Moonlight Pearls. I haven't really purchased a lot of new drugstore products, so I was wanting to definitely test those out. The only thing I've done right now is moisturize my face. I used the Philosophy Take a Deep Breath. What is this? I think this is the Take a Deep Breath Oil-Free Oxygen Makeup moisturizer. It's basically you use this in the morning, and basically all it is a lightweight moisturizer that hydrates and helps diffuse energizing oxygen to the skin as needed for a healthy looking glow. I like putting that on before I do my makeup. It just kind of gives me a nice cooling sensation, definitely wakes up the skin, gets the skin ready. So today we're just going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes. I'm just doing a kind of a quick natural look today. Nothing spectacular. I'm just using my Carly Bible palette. I haven't used this in a good minute. This is the Carly Bible palette by BH Cosmetics. This is the deluxe edition. I don't think they have the smaller edition anymore, but if you're interested, I can do a review. I think I have a review on this. It was $22.50. A little pricey for BH Cosmetics palettes, I think. While the other ones are like $15, I think. I really enjoy this one though. I love the colors in here. These colors are just right up my alley. And yeah, today's just been an eventful morning, so that's if I look terrible, that is why. My mom and my sister were in a wreck this morning. Everybody is okay. The car isn't. Cars can be replaced and people can't. So yeah, I definitely woke up getting a phone call from my sister saying, "Don't panic, me and Mom are in a wreck, but we're okay." It's like, it's like, well, do I need to go up there? Like, what's going on? Like, is everybody okay? Is the person that was driving that hit him always okay? It wasn't their fault, it was the guy's fault that hit him. So, we're going to take the first shade right here, this kind of like orangey shade, and use that as our all-over transition shade. This palette I recommend it. It is gorgeous. I got it when it was right around my birthday time. It's right around when the deluxe edition launched, and I had my eye on it. It was one of those things I bounced back and forth before BH Cosmetics came into my stores. At Ulta, I was like bouncing back and forth between ordering this, and it would stay in my cart, and then I would delete it. So next we're just taking this shade right here, and we're going to pop that in our crease. I don't want anything to do anything too dramatic today. I'm just using my typical Luxie brush to blend these shadows into my crease. And we're just going to darken it up a little bit more. We're not going to take a lot. We're going to take this bottom shade right here. The shadows in here are really nice. They blend easily. They're pigmented. They're creamy. The metallics are gorgeous. I really have to say Carly and BH Cosmetics did a wonderful job on this palette. Just add a little bit of color. We're just going to take the purpley shade right here and kind of blend that into the outer Rita. Add a little bit of color. This palette it's kind of big, and so I definitely don't recommend this for traveling. It's kind of big and bulky. I know I'm holding it weird, but I just the mirror was getting in the way and it can fold back, so I'm like, you know what, we're going to utilize that. So I'm just taking my Royal Lane Nickel brush, and we're just going to blend out these edges. This brush is definitely perfect for blending things out. So, I forgot to grab something real quick. Forgot to grab my... Do I need to glitter glue this? No, we're not going to use glitter glue today. I forgot to go to my glitter glue for my shimmer shadows. So I'm just taking this single shadow. This is by Urban Decay. This is their single shadow in the shade Scratch. It's an interesting, I thought it was like a peachy champagne color, but it's actually kind of like a pink, rosy, I don't know, like a pale pink. We're definitely going to need some Fix Plus on this bad boy. I'm just taking a flat shader and applying this all over my lid. So I'm just taking my Fix Plus, give it 2 spritz. Just definitely take it up a notch. This color is okay. This is definitely not my favorite Urban Decay color. Probably going to take another shadow and put it on top of it, because this one isn't cutting it for me. I'm not a big fan. And I do like Urban Decay shadows. This one is not hitting the mark. I'm taking a little bit of that purple shade that we put in our outer V, or outer crease, and just kind of blending that into my outer V. That purple shade's a little iffy. It's not the most pigmented one in there, but purple is definitely hard to master. And speaking of purple, tomorrow I'm going to be ordering the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, so when that definitely comes in, I will be doing a review on that. I'm just going to take this kind of like pink duochrome color in here. Like that color, every time I tell myself I'm not going to use that color again, because I use it all the time when I use this palette, and I need to use this palette more often. We're just going to pop it all over our lid. I'm trying to get better about like looking at the camera more, but I'm so blind without my glasses, and everyone's like, you need to get contacts, and I've tried contacts, but they irritated my eye. I don't know if it was the type of contact I got, but my prescription is so strong. Everyone's like, how do you film? And I'm like, I use a mirror, and I'm afraid sometimes the people can't see me. I'm sorry if I ever do that. If you need a scene, you do something. Or, yeah. So I was just taking that purple shade and doing the same over here, just kind of blending out those, just kind of blending it out more. So I did forget to grab my face primer, so I'm going to be right back. Okay, so I got my primer. The primer I'm using is just my standard primer. I'm not going to try any new primers or use a primer that I don't use often. I'm just going to take my Benefit Professional and pop a little bit of this. I need to keep saying pop this all over the face. Like, I say that too much. I'm just going to spread this all over my face, and because my face is one giant pore. I have big pores everywhere, and for some reason, like, I always thought it was the bronzer I used or the contour powder, but over here, like, my contour, like, in foundation would get really splotchy, like, right over here on this part of my cheeks, and I always thought it was, like, the bronzer, so, like, I would end up being like, oh, I hate this bronzer doesn't work for me. And finally I went to Ulta, and I was talking about it with one of the girls up at the counter, and she said, I had the exact same problem. She said, what I did is I just put Benefit Professional, like, all over my cheeks, and it, like, stopped the problem. And, like, she wasn't trying to sell it to me or anything, as far as I know, because, like, I didn't tell her I was interested in buying it, and she said, because she had the exact same problem, and so I bought it. I bought a sample at Sephora when I went to get my Prism palette, and it really did actually help the problem. Like, my powders go on so much better ever since I started using that. So here is the foundation. It just comes in a nice little glass bottle, which I was really surprised was a glass bottle. You're getting about 1 fluid ounce, which is standard for any foundation. So I got the shade Golden Beige, and I think this is going to be a little bit too dark for me because the lightest one was Porcelain, and that's way too light for me. And this is the second or third lightest shade they had. And it says, basically, it says, Goodbye Photo Flashback, help eliminate white particle reflection. I'm not going to do a photo tests. I'm not that advanced on YouTube yet. It said it was tested under 7 light conditions with top smartphone models and with and without flash. So basically, it claims that this foundation is supposed to make you look good and ready for pictures and selfies and stuff like that. I've only watched one review on it. It was a trusted review, and I kind of know some of it. Comes with a spatula. I'm not a big fan of the spatulas. I don't know why it would come with a spatula, because, I mean, I'd rather it come with the pump or without the pump, because to me the spatula is that's the way bacteria gets in, so we're not using the spatula. I'm just gonna, and I'm sorry if I almost like knocked the camera out, I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. It kind of reminds me, it has the texture of the Maybelline Fit Me. It's runny, but it's kind of thick. It's not super runny. It's not like running all over the place. The Maybelline Fit Me did run all over the place, if we're going to compare it to another drugstore foundation. So this is what golden beige looks like. It's definitely going to be a little bit too dark for me, I think. It smells like paint, like legit paint, but it feels really nice on the skin when I put it on. It feels a little oily. It does feel like an oil-based foundation. I don't know if that's just me and being me, but it does kind of feel oily. We're going to take a little bit with this on the spatula right here. I know I said I wasn't going to use the spatula. I don't feel like pouring out the bottle. Okay, the spatula is actually pretty handy. So you don't have to get your fingers. I'm using my Real Techniques sponge. This is how I always do foundations. It's a little bit too warm. Nothing too dramatic. Maybe I could have gone with one more, like go up a little bit. Maybe like one shade up. The lightest shade would have been way too light. It's a little yellow or orange toned. Blend it into my neck since it is a little bit. I can definitely see me using this in the summer. Okay, so this is what it looks like once I blended. It definitely is blending out really nicely. I would say it's about medium to full coverage. You can definitely get it a little more full coverage, I feel, which is really nice for a drugstore foundation. I just usually always touch up right here because I get red right here. But it does cover up. I usually get red right around in here. I don't know if y'all can see it. But it definitely does cover up redness on my nose. A little bit's peeking through. Nothing that I can't fix. I had a spot right here and it's covering it up pretty nicely. Like I said, this is a little bit too warm for me, but the concealer will lighten it up a little bit. If a foundation's a little too dark for me, it's okay, and I have a little bit of other darker foundations. I'm just going to use the spatula again. The spatula actually came in a little bit handy. I feel like I definitely can get right here and cover up some of that. I'm just covering up over here, some of the redness. I just hope it doesn't get cakey right around where I'm kind of like touching up. And that's what I'm trying to prove. I hope it doesn't. But my nose, since I wear glasses, is always getting red and irritated from like the glasses falling off my face. This doesn't claim to be waterproof or sweat proof. So this isn't like, if you are going to get this for like a photo shoot, it is not waterproof, so be aware of that. Okay, so this is definitely a little too warm for me. So we're going to take some on a little bit on the ears over here just to make sure everything looks even. But I have been self-tanning some, so it's probably why it's not like over dramatic, So it's drying down. It definitely, I am liking the coverage. I think this is like my new holy grail. I don't know if this is gonna be my new holy grail drugstore foundation, but I am in love with this. It definitely is still drying a little bit, but this color is nice. It blended really nicely onto my skin. The only complaint is it does kind of cling to some of the dry patches that I do have down here. Like right over in here, it's kind of clinging to some of the patches over there. It looks like it's more of like a satin matte. I wouldn't say like a demi matte. It's more satin, like it has like a little bit of a glow. That might be just the moisturizer I'm using. There is like a healthy glow going through the foundation. I'm really liking this. This is amazing. This looks amazing on my skin. So we're just going to take some Tarte Shape Tape. This is definitely going to lighten it up a little bit. And we're just going to kind of highlight. I'm going to kind of take a little bit more because since this foundation is a little bit too warm, I'm going to kind of be a little more heavy-handed with it just to kind of definitely make sure it gets lightened up a little bit. We're going to see how the concealer blends how the concealer blends with this. Because I don't care what people say. Your foundation is important because everything has to blend underneath it. Everything has to blend on top of it. I'm liking how the concealer definitely looks really nice with this. It's blending into the foundation nicely. It's not getting cakey or anything like that. Like it's not wanting to be patchy or anything. I can see myself using this foundation more than just to test it on my YouTube channel. I can see me using this. Like, this is better than some high-end foundations that I've tried. Like, this has more coverage than, I wouldn't say my MAC Studio Fix Fluid, but if I could compare it to that, I'd have to say, like, the coverage and everything is about the same. I do prefer my Studio Fix Fluid just because this one does kind of feel a little bit tacky. It may be still drying, but it does kind of feel heavy on the skin a little bit. Like my Studio Fix Fluid kind of felt more lightweight. I don't know if that was just, that was just my personal opinion on it. I know some people say it's like a Madison, it's a full coverage foundation. But it didn't feel like heavy on the skin. This kind of does. But you can't win them all. Okay. So that blended really nicely. I'm going to go bake my face real quick, and then I'll be back and do my brows, and I'll be back. Okay, so brows are done. Please ignore if they look a little awful. I was kind of trying out some new ways to do my brows. I just used my standard Dip Brow pomade in the same shade Soft Brown. I also used my Smashbox Brow Tech To Go in the shade Brunette. I tried out this kind of like to help shape them and stuff and try to get them to look good. I used my Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Brow Mousse in the shade Medium Brown. I do not recommend this. It is too dry and it cakes up. And yeah, that was it. And I also used the clear gel end on the Brow Tech To Go. I definitely do recommend this. I feel it is very underrated and not a lot of people talk about it. It is really nice. So for bronzer today, I'm just going to be taking this powder that was way too dark for me. This is the Laura Geller Beauty Baked and Balance and Brighten. It's supposed to be like a powder. It's in the shade Sand, but it is the prettiest bronzer shade for somebody my skin tone. I'm just taking my crown brush. It is absolutely gorgeous. It just offers the perfect, like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but like it just offers that perfect tan look without it looking too orange. I love it. And it just blends so nicely, and it also offers a little bit of coverage over here on my cheeks wherever it does get kind of patchy whenever I do powdering, like my powder contour. So I'm just taking the contoured shade in my Smashbox contour palette, and these two mixed together, it looks flawless to me. Okay, so just to add a little bit of brightness, I'm just taking my e.l.f. This is an e.l.f. concealer brush, but I love it for like putting powder highlight. Just taking the highlighting shade and just highlighting underneath my eye. Just to make sure my under eye is set properly, and then it will not be going anywhere. So for blush, I'm just taking a blush I haven't used in a while. This is my NYX High Definition Blush. As you can see, I used to love this. Kind of reminds me of NARS Orgasm. This is in the shade Intuition. I haven't used this in a good minute, so I was like, you know what? We'll bust it out today. It is a kind of a shimmery blush, but it's not one of those that's overly shimmery. Like, you can see, like, I can have a little bit of shimmer on my face, but it's nothing too dramatic. And why is it doing... It's going patchy over in this little area, and I cannot get it to stop. It's like it doesn't want to mix with the powders on my face. Oh, well, we'll deal with it later. So for highlight, like I said, we're testing the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter. This is in the shade Moonlight Pearls. This is what the shade looks like. It is this beautiful champagne color. I think they compared this to MAC's Gilded Honey. I could be wrong. I know they compared one of e.l.f.'s highlighters to some high-end product. I'm just taking it on an illuminating brush. I'm going to try it by itself on one side, and then we're going to wet the brush on the other. So this is the dry side. I don't know if you can see it, but has a little bit of a glow. It's nothing too dramatic. I'm going to see if we can build it while it's dry and if it'll impact it. Alright, so it definitely is easily buildable. I'm going to see because I love my highlighters glowy. Like, that's not that bad. It does emphasize a little bit of texture, nothing too dramatic. At least on me, my skin isn't too textured up around here. A lot of my texture is down on the sides, like on the bottom side of my face. So we're just spritzing it with some MAC Fix Plus. Since baked formulas usually work better wet, and it does not affect anything. It doesn't affect the powder. They're supposed to be wet. Okay, I think I prefer this dry, actually, and that is crazy. Like, I feel... It definitely is, like, a little... It has that more of, like, that wet look to it. Because it's wet, obviously, Madison. But I think I prefer the dry side better. Yeah, I definitely do prefer it dry more than anything. So I'm going to try to dry this off because I'm just going to kind of do the rest of my face, and I really don't want... The brush is going to be a little bit damp, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. But this is a pretty color. Definitely if you want more natural highlight, this would be nice because it can build to be extremely glowy. You can definitely build it, but it's not like I wouldn't compare these to like Anastasia highlighters. Definitely my BH Cosmetics ones are more intense. But this is pretty. I definitely do like the look of this. Like, it has more of that glow with it, and like, it doesn't look like you put highlighter on. Like, you can tell you have highlighter on, but it's nothing to where it looks obnoxious. It's pretty though. I do recommend this. This was only $4, by the way. So I'm gonna go do my liquid eyeliner, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So for eyeliner, I decided to do something a little bit of fun. I took an Urban Decay Razor Sharp Longwear liquid eyeliner, and this is in the shade Revolver. This is kind of like a gunmetal, like metallic eyeliner. I don't know if you even can see that, but it's gorgeous. I have another one. Other razor sharp ones. It's blue though, and I don't know if I have it still. I have to see if I have it still, and it's gorgeous. I love it. So I'm just gonna take some of the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eyeliner. This is the shade Perversion. I love this color. This is my favorite black eyeliner. For waterline, it stays put. It is like the blackest black I own. The other ones are just dull and look like washed out. And the waterline, this stays put. The only problem is, like, I have to constantly keep sharpening it. And those little, I hate it when, like, you get near the end and you're like like near the end of the eyeliner, like where you need to start sharpening it. And like the piece of wood pokes you and it hurts. Like that really hurts. So I'm just going to take this like kind of like shade down here. It's more of a lighter purple. And I'm going to run that underneath my lower lash line. I thought that would look really pretty. And I feel like I used the wrong brush. But I really want it smoked out under there just to look a little nicer. So I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to take the champagne color in here. It kind of reminds, I think this is like the same shade as the Urban Decay one. Wait, hang on. I think I just found a dupe, you guys. Yeah, these are kind of like the same shade. Carly Bible one definitely is a little bit more lighter. This is the Carly Bible one. And that is Urban Decay's Scratch. That was random. I found a dupe. But actually I'm going to take the white shade since those shades are kind of similar. I'm going to take the white highlighting shade and pop that in my inner corner. I don't know why. Just to clean up the brow bone, I'm taking this matte bone shade that's in here on my Royal and Langnickel brush just to kind of clean up the edges and highlight my brow bone. Also kind of helps clean up the brows a little bit. So I'm going to pop on some mascara and I'll be back to do my lips. Okay, so I got my mascara and everything on. So for lips, we're going to be taking, I'm going to take my Too Faced, this is the Too Faced Lip Insurance Primer. This is an anti-feathering, smoothing lip primer. And I'm just going to put this, I usually put this on before I do any lip products. It works, and it helps it stay on longer, which is always the biggest bonus. I'm sure any of my makeup lovers here know the worst is having to reapply your lipstick or liquid lipstick or stain, whatever, gloss. It's annoying. It doesn't make them transfer proof though. I wish you would do that. So for lip liner, this is the closest thing I could find for the lip color I'm going to use. This is my Buxom Plump Line Lip Liner in Anonymous Allure. I love these. These are so creamy. Maybe a little too dark. Yeah, this is going to be a little dark. I'm sorry if you see me making any weird faces and if I look. I don't like to overdraw my lips. Or I try not to. Like down here. As we need to clean up. So this is, the color I'm using today is the Pure Minerals Liquid Lipstick in Ever After. This is what the color looks like. I'm actually digging this color combo. Like, it's purple, but it's more like a mauvey purple. Like, it's not obnoxious or anything like that. Like, you know, like a night bright neon purple. But this is the completed look. I'm just getting my hair taken care of. So overall, my final thoughts, well, not my final thoughts, as of right now, I am loving the look of this foundation. It looks amazing. I actually really, really love the finish of it. I have to say my skin looks really nice in this foundation. Like, it's smooth, I'm hoping it stays looking like this, so I'll try to do all my check-ins. I don't know how to do check-ins on my camera yet. I'm still learning how to do all that. So in the description box, I'll post like a check-in, like check-ins throughout the day, like how it wore throughout the day and everything. The time right now, it is 12:17. So I get off at 10:30, so you're definitely going to get a good check-in. So that is really nice. I do like the highlighter. The highlighter is gorgeous. It's really nice glow. And yeah, I really recommend this too. Both, as of right now, I definitely recommend the highlighter. And as of right now, I do recommend the foundation. So yeah, this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys like these type of videos, give it a thumbs up. Please make sure to comment down below if you have any requests or just to say hi. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel because at 50 subscribers, I'll be doing a giveaway. And yeah, I'll see you on my next video. Bye!